me again. I figured, let me update you guys one more time before we start on the harness and the wiring. To be honest with you guys, I needed like a day or something just to myself before I start with all the shenanigans and all the wiring and all the headache. But to be honest, I'm so confident it's gonna be so easy, and you guys are gonna love how it's gonna look like and how simple and easy it is to make that harness, because that's all we need, is to be simple, straightforward, easy to deal with. And the simpler you make it, the simpler it's going to be when you're trying to figure something out down the racetrack. Let's hope that we don't need to get to that point, but if we do, we should be prepared. So here's what I did so far, and I'm going to show you guys what I did. So obviously the AccuSump hose, I made it shorter, and now it's not hanging all over the place. And for this is my remote mount. So basically all my sensors are going to be here. Then this would go, let's say, to the CO2. This would go to the oil pressure, fuel pressure, back pressure, all the pressures. So whatever pressure sensor I need, well, guess what? I don't need to. So let's say I'm down the racetrack and I have a problem. All I need to do is, let's say the pressure sensor is no good. Well, it's easy for me to replace it because it's going to be right in front of me right here. And boost pressure sensor, I decided boost pressure solenoid or boost control solenoid is going to live right here. I know it's upside down, but I figured this is the best location for it. It's going to be close to the wastegate, which is right here. And all I need is this line. This is going to be upside down. The line is going to go straight to the boost control solenoid, and the maxx ECU is going to be able to control it, and everything is going to be so basically whenever I pull the shell right off, this is how clean it's going to look. Obviously I'm going to have the sensor wires and the injectors and the coils, but everything should look pretty much the same as this. For the wheel speed sensor, I built a bracket, I welded it right to the caliper bracket. So now every time this bolt is gonna pass this sensor, which is right here, if you guys can see, it's gonna send the signal to the maxx ECU. Let's say I have 4 bolts holding the rotor. It's gonna read that, and it's gonna tell the maxx ECU exactly how many times it's gonna calculate the speed without any problems. And this I don't see why the sensor should have any issues reading just 4 points off the wheel. The shock sensor is mounted. So what I did right here, if you guys can see, I tapped the end of the bolt, and I put a bolt right through it. It was a M4 by 0.7, I can't remember. And in the bottom, obviously because these bars to support the swing arm were in the way, so what I did, you guys are gonna laugh, but if you can see right here, I actually found, what was it, 1/2 inch? Yeah, it was a 1/2 inch NPT brass plug that I found, and I drilled and tapped it to fit. So one side would actually bolt threads to the bolt, and the other side is just tapped to take the bolt that's M4 by 0.7. It works. I'm pretty sure it's going to be strong enough. You guys can see right here. I don't see why it shouldn't work. It's working. It's straight. It's perfect. I'm happy with it. What else did I do? So speed sensor. G meter is going to be relocated. I had it on top of the manifold. I don't know if the vibration of the motor might affect the G signal. I didn't have any issues last year, but I want to make sure I won't have any issues next year. So I might relocate that. So G meter, boost control solenoid, remote mount pressure sensors, which is going to go all over the motor. Shock pressure shock travel sensor, AccuSump installed, the mechanical fuel pump installed, wheel speed sensor installed, fuel tank done. I just need to weld this bracket. You guys can see here it's not welded yet, but I just gotta weld that and it should be good to go. I think now I can start on the wiring harness. I don't see anything else that I need to do, but oh, actually the wheelie sensor, front wheel height position sensor or height sensor is installed. It's just basic. It's a 1/8 thick stainless steel. I didn't go with aluminum. I didn't care about the 0.5 gram that I'm gonna lose. Stainless steel is much stronger. The last thing I need is for this thing to wiggle or move or crack or break, or, well, if I use stainless, I know for a fact it's gonna be strong enough and I don't have to worry about it. It's actually completely bolted on. It's not gonna shake, it's not gonna move. Turbo's done. I welded the V-bands. They're welded. This one is welded. I also, what you guys probably can't see, but here, let me bring some light to show you guys exactly what I did. Where's my light? So to clearance the V-band, what I had to do was to actually cut my valve cover. You guys can see in there, I cut it and I welded a plate on it. So it used to have some, it's like for emissions, it's like an EGR type of reed valve that lives inside the valve cover. I cut that completely off and I welded a plate, and now the V-band won't hit it, and I will be able to take that V-band in and out no problem. Also, the vents for the oil catch can, they're welded right on. As you guys can see, these two lines are gonna go straight to the oil catch can, and that's gonna basically catch all the excess oil that's gonna come out of the valve cover, and it's gonna go through these baffles, and this dash 12 is gonna go all the way back to the front. This way I won't have any oil downs, any leaks, anything that you need to worry about. And after every pass, I have a drain in the bottom. It's not drilled yet, but I will have a drain somewhere here, and that drain will basically drain the excess oil after every pass, and I will compensate with whatever oil comes out. So if I pull, let's say 0.25 liters or whatever, I'll just add the exact same amount back to the motor, and we shouldn't have any missing oil in the crankcase. But I think that's it for today, guys. This is the update for now. All the sensors are done. Everything that I need before the wiring harness is done right now. So next, mount the maxx ECU, mount the sensors, and start chopping through these wires, and let's hope we'll have this bike ready and running within a week to 2 weeks. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna make sure it's mint. I just wanna make sure it's perfect, because really, this is the last time I wanna build a harness for this bike. This is my 4th or 5th time, but every time it gets better. And at this point, I think I wanted the best of the best that I can get, and this is it. Building this bike to run 6s, and the last thing I need is to have any doubts, and I want 0 doubts. But as you guys can see, I just can't wait to see this thing go down the racetrack. Look at this thing. It just looks mean. It just looks, it's ready. It's ready, boys. It's ready to go. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing running. It's gonna sound insane. It's just gonna be ready. But that's it for tonight, guys. As you guys can see, it's always nighttime by the time I'm done working and all the shenanigans. She's gonna be fast, guys. Anyways, good night for tonight, and see you guys next time. Have a good night.